Now to a story of survival which is almost impossible to believe. You're about to meet a man who's faced death more times than any of us could imagine and has still lived to tell the tale. Marguerite Rossi spent some time with this extraordinary survivor.
So when you wake up in the mornings now, what do you think to yourself?
I've been given a second chance and I ain't gonna stuff it up this time.
Danny Katz is an ordinary man with an extraordinary story.
Hello. Hello, Gilly. Say hello.
While he might keep birds, it's a case of cats by name, cat by nature. But instead of 9 lives, Danny had 29. His tale of survival started in July last year when he and his wife Evelyn were making the bed at home.
I started feeling just a bit nauseous and lightheaded. No severe pain, nothing whatsoever, just felt unwell, so lay down.
Knowing something wasn't right, Evelyn called 000, even though she didn't realise how dire her husband's situation was.
Because I didn't think in a million years it was a heart attack because he had no symptoms.
It was in the ambulance Danny's heart stopped for the first time. Then every few minutes his heart gave in to the massive blockage in his artery for a second, third, fourth, fifth and 6th time on the way to the hospital. All the while, Evelyn watching on.
Did you think you were going to lose him?
When I saw he was completely white and then it kept happening.
But the worst was far from over. Danny had to be revived 23 more times after he arrived at the Gold Coast Hospital, the cardiac arrests continuing even while he was on the operating table.
I had to resuscitate him a number of times on the table when he was on the table and I was doing the procedures.
Cardiologist Dr. Atifur Rahman helped save Danny's life that day. His incredible survival, a very special success story for this specialist.
It just gave me so much feeling of joy and satisfaction. It just overwhelming. And sometimes I feel like as if tears in my eyes, but I always hide those emotions.
As far as anybody knows, Danny's survival is a record at the Gold Coast Hospital. 29 resuscitations with a happy ending. These pictures show how severe the blockage was, and this is his artery working again after surgery. This father of 6 was shocked so many times he sustained burn marks on his chest.
Now I've got to ask, because this is, I guess, the question that everyone wants to know the answer to. Did you see anything? Did you see any lights?
There were 2 brightnesses. It could have been the ambulance person shining a light in my eyes. It could very well have been the overhead lights in the operating theatre. I really don't know. I saw brightnesses. I can't tell you where they were from. I didn't have out-of-body experiences that some people might talk about.
If it's possible, this story becomes even more amazing. You see, on the very same day, almost to the hour, 10 years earlier, Danny's wife almost lost her life as well. She was on the bridge at the Maccabee Games in Israel when it collapsed.
My 2 friends that were right behind me were killed. We're all from the 10-pin bowling club.
With a new lease on life, Danny wants to spread his message of survival by thanking the much-maligned public health system.
My experience, they got me through. And I'm talking about the ambulances, the doctors, the nurses.
And making sure diabetics just like him know for them a cardiac arrest can be a very different, even painless experience.
A lot of people in the community are diabetic and they need to recognize and realize sometimes they may not get any chest pain or any discomfort at all and yet they can have a heart attack.
The message, if in doubt, get medical help, just like Evelyn did. It's the reason Danny is here today.
End of the day, you've only got 1 life. I'm lucky I had a second chance.
Not just a second chance, but 29 of them.
Oh, a very lucky man. Marguerite Rossi there.